So, I popped into High House Insurance to see if they could quote for my house insurance rather than using the internet. High House got a great deal. So to celebrate, I bought a posh hairdo. It made me look beautiful, gorgeous enough to become a highly paid model. I then won Celebrity Big Brother. I had an affair with an MP. Now I'm promoting a doll of me that says, "Cool, blimey, you're well fit."
Happy things happen when you talk face-to-face with High House Insurance. See if we can beat your home insurance quote from the internet. Find us on the High Street, Selsey, or call 606 552.
Welcome to another edition of Selsey Internet Radio Podcast. In this week's programme, John Fletcher will pay a tribute to Hugh Graham. Mary Kennedy takes us through what's on and around the village for the coming week. I catch up with Mike Nicholls from Selsey Information Exchange for an update on what's going on down there. I also have a chat to Les Hilton from SACOS. And finally, Lyn will give us a recipe for a wonderful lemon drizzle cake. So sit back, settle in and listen in to your local radio podcast that gives you information about what's going on around you.
Hi, this is John Fletcher, founder of Selsey Internet Radio. Just like to say a few words about the passing of Hugh Graham. Hugh came along to our second or third meeting, and with his journalistic flair and enthusiasm I soon realised he and I shared the same passion for the radio. So he became the public voice and face of the radio. He had lots of ideas and a way of interviewing that made it all look so easy, just to chat and ask some questions. Since his passing we have had a few challenges and he will be a hard act to follow. He was a one-off. But we need to carry on and we have a good team around us, so we will endeavour to bring you up-to-date information and programmes we hope you will enjoy. So please keep listening.
I'm sure we'd all like to thank you for those kind words, John. Hugh, like many people, has put an awful lot of work into Selsey Internet Radio, and it was his dream to see it grow. And I think the only fitting tribute is for us to carry on and try and make those dreams come true. And now over to Mary Kennedy, who's going to take a look at what's going on in and around the village this week.
Hello, Mary Kennedy here with what's on in Selsey this week. Visitors are welcome at Selsey Camera Club on Monday the 10th, 7:30 at St Wilfrid's Church Hall in Church Road. Ken Scott's talk is entitled Project Infinity. Also on Monday, Selsey Cinema Club will be showing Belle at the Town Hall, 7 for 7:30, and tickets are £5. On Thursday, Nicola Court of West Sussex Records Office will be telling the story of Shiphams at the Selsey Society's meeting. Details for that are from John Mason on 607037. Mike Beale is talking about his trip to Nepal with ActionAid at Selsey Horticultural Society's meeting on Friday. That's at the Selsey Centre at 7:30 p.m. start, and visitors are welcome. There is an entrance fee of £1. And there's lots happening on Saturday the 15th. First, Selsey Lifeboat Association Christmas Fair at the Town Hall from 9:30 till 12, entry by donation. Brent Lodge Wildlife Hospital Christmas Market is from 10 till 3, entry by a tin of cat or dog food or a donation, and that's at the Wildlife Hospital in Cow Lane, Siddlesham, and it's also on Sunday at the same time. Also on Saturday, a fish and chip supper in aid of SACOS starts at 7 p.m. in the Town Hall. Tickets for that are £12 and that includes supper, and they're available from High House Insurance in the High Street. Second Selsey Lifeboats Darts Knockout competition is at the Lifeboat Inn. Registration is from 6:30 and the event starts at 7:30, and there's a £5 entry fee payable on the night.
Just a slight technical hitch there preventing Mary from saying goodbye. I would just like to clarify at this point that the fish and chip supper for SACOS also includes a jazz band, so it's an evening's entertainment in the company of the Miller's Men Jazz Band with a fish and chip supper. Right, we move on now and we go across to the studio where I was having a chat with Mike Nicholls about Selsey Information Exchange. Mike.
Thank you, Keith. Good morning. At the Information Exchange in Penny Lane, we get all sorts of visitors. I've just had a lady in there just with a simple question. She said, I know this month there's a talk somewhere in Selsey about Shiphams. Can you help me? I was glad to be able to tell her that it's the Selsey Society on the 13th of November, so she's able to go. She used to work there with her family, so we get queries like that. We've had people coming in this week to look at the neighbourhood plan, which is available for consultation at the moment in the town hall and up at the Selsey Centre, as well as in Penny Lane.
My experience on that is that a good many people are voicing opinions without having read the local plan, and they might change their opinions if they were to actually read it.
Absolutely, I think it's personally I think it's a good document, and it's got a lot of good vision, about it. But there are other things that go on at the Information Exchange that, if I can just take a moment to perhaps make people aware of them. For instance, during November there are a couple of Sundays, the 16th and the 30th, when there are going to be local teas on offer for anyone who would otherwise be on their own. The first one on the 16th is at the East Beach Evangelical Church in Marisfield Place, and on the 30th it's at the Methodist Church in the High Street from 3 till 4:30, and there's going to be some tea, some board games and things of that sort. So anyone who'd like a cup of tea and a bit of company is very welcome. And if anyone wants a lift, they can ring us on 01243 201 616, and we'd be happy to give them a lift. And then for anyone who's on their own on Christmas Day, we're providing a lunch at the town hall on Christmas Day for anyone who would appreciate it. And again, if they want to book in for that, then it's the same number, 01243 201 616, and we'd be happy to have them along.
How are preparations going forward for that one? It sounds to me it's an absolutely superb idea.
Yeah, I mean, we've been wonderfully blessed, really. We've had over £300 in donations towards the cost of the event. We've had a lot of people offering in-kind donations, people who said, we'll make you all your sausage rolls or mince pies or, that kind of thing. We've got enough volunteers for the day, which is great. And we're now just pushing the invitations out so that anyone who might be on their own is welcome to come, and we just want them to feel welcome. We've got offers of transport from the Venture Club, from the community bus, from one of the taxi firms, so that no one need not be able to get there. So we're hoping that it's a good Christmas event that will help the sense of happiness and friendship over that.
So it's all organised. All we need now is for people to contact you and say, I'd like to attend. I'm on my own at Christmas.
Absolutely, and I'd love to attend. We're looking forward to that. And then just one other thing that would be worth, I think, saying. We've been running for about 3 months now from the Information Exchange a thing called Good Morning Selsey. This is a daily phone call to people who are perhaps on their own or who feel lonely or vulnerable. We built up some very good friendships. We've just got a couple of new people this week who've picked up that service. And in the last few days, it's worked wonderfully well. We had one lady who found herself needing to really get into hospital, and we were able to contact her son, make sure that happened. And when she came out, we were able to get in touch with the folk who provide her sort of Meals on Wheels, so that she had the meal the day she came out. And it's that sort of connected care for some of the older members of our community that we're glad to be involved in. And I think the last thing I was just going to mention is that the Information Exchange is the office for our youth workers, Donna Sadler and Kylie Scott, and their kind of work with young people at Snack Shack and in the local school. And so it's a little office that's used in all sorts of ways, and just makes its contribution to the community we live in.
So if you need to know what's going on in Selsey, that's the place to go and find out.
It's one of them, and it helps, yes. Thank
brilliant.
you very much, Keith.
Thank you very much, Mike. Well, thanks for the update there, Mike, from Penny Lane, and we'll talk to you again soon. Also in the studio today I have Les Hilton from SACOS, and Les is going to give us a bit of an insight into what SACOS is and how it performs. Now Les, can you first explain to the listeners what SACOS stands for and what it is?
Hi Keith. SACOS. Well, what it actually stands for originally is the Selsey Amateur Choral and Operatic Society, hence the acronym SACOS. We're not actually known as that now, we're actually known as SACOS Musical Productions. Primarily what we are is we are an amateur-based musical society. And what we do is we do musicals, concerts, as well as other fundraising events throughout the year.
Can you give us a bit of history of the society, Les? How long has it been going?
The society was founded in 1962, so
long
it's
time ago then.
Yeah, 52 years, and it's been going strong. It's had lots of members throughout the years, and I'm glad to say that we've still got some members that have been part of it almost the whole time, which is very good. As I say, it was started in 1962, and the original idea was local people wanting to get together to do sort of Gilbert and Sullivan type production. So the first thing they actually did was they did a concert version of Merry England, and also followed that on the following year with a concert version of the Gondoliers.
Hence the choral and operatic.
Absolutely, and a lot of societies of our age, that's how they started. They all started with, because obviously Gilbert and Sullivan was very popular back then. But it started to evolve because people realised that, you know, there's more to musical theatre. Well, there's musical theatre, for example. And by 1969, they'd already done Oklahoma, South Pacific and Carousel. So more of the popular musical theatres were coming about by then.
They were moving with the times, really, didn't they?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's what people wanted.
Yeah, absolutely, and that continued. And in the I think it was 1980, they also decided that it would be nice to do something at Christmas. So the first SACOS Christmas concert started back in 1980, and that's obviously continued every year. And we're doing one this year as well. We've now rebranded that, called the Extravaganza, Christmas Extravaganza, because it's more of a. It's not just a concert now. There's more than just the chorus singing. It's more involved. We've got individual solos. We've also got people doing readings and some funny scripts, etc.
A bit of something for everybody then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great stuff. How many members have you got?
Currently we've got approximately 40. We tend to fluctuate between 40 and 50 members throughout the year. We do sometimes gain members later on in the year, around about January time, because that's when we ramp up to start setting the spring show. So, but currently we've got 40 members.
And do some of the members just do the spring show and some just do the Christmas Extravaganza, or do they all do all? Or?
Yeah, there's a mix actually. Quite a lot of the core membership do both, which is good because you know, they like to get involved in everything. We do have some members that prefer the choir choral side of things, so they just do the Christmas Extravaganza, and that's one of the reasons why we keep that, because it keeps our roots in the choral side of things. We do also have members that don't even partake in the shows, but they help behind the scenes, which is also a very important part, you know, because it is great that we can all go on stage and do all these things, but without the backstage people and the helpers and the chaperones and all of that sort of thing, you know, we can't put these productions on.
What sort of age groups do you cater for, Les?
We cater from 10 upwards. Currently our youngest member is 12, and we've got members of all ages going right up to 80 something. I won't tell you who's the oldest member because they might get a bit upset, but so well into the 80s.
What does it cost to become a member? And can people come and give it a try before committing to becoming a member, or do they have to become a member first before they can get involved? Or?
No, what we say to people is come along for a couple of tryout sessions to see what it's like. We generally meet on a Monday and a Thursday evening. You can come along at any time, try it for a couple of weeks, and then if you like it, then join. The membership currently sits at £30 a year for adults, and for juniors it's £15 a year, and a junior is someone under the age of 16 as of the 1st of May that year.
Okay. How many? Oh, well, you told me how many shows you're doing here. Do you just limit it normally to the Christmas Extravaganza and the spring show, or do you do other stuff during the course of the year for fundraising purposes?
Yes, indeed we do. I mean, we do have the two main shows. They are our focus, as we say, the Christmas Extravaganza and the spring show, which is always done around about Easter. But no, throughout the year we put other events on. We are a charity and we are a self-funding charity, so the way we make the money to do these primarily is by membership fees, what the members put in, sponsorship and fundraising. So fundraising is quite important. So these other events we do things like quiz nights. We've done them in the past. We've done, well, yourself, you've done an event for us. You've done a Rat Pack evening, which was very well attended. Coming up on the 15th of November, we've got a fish and chip supper with a jazz night. It's a live 4-piece jazz band. So again, that will be something that hopefully will help fill the coffers, and obviously people who enjoy it as well. We also had a Rocky Horror Picture Show, which was quite interesting last year. That raised a few eyelids, but it raised some money, which was the important thing. I mean, the best bet is to keep an eye on what we do. Is we try to post it all over the place anyway, but we have a Facebook page which people can look at, and that will tell when the events are on. We also have a website which people can look at, which we put events on as we go. We always try and go in places like the Selsey Life and obviously the What's On the internet radio as well. So, just keep an eye out. We do lots of things.
You talk about fundraising. Now, I don't imagine that most people listening to this will have any inkling whatsoever of what it costs to put on a major production. Now, I saw last year's show, which I hasten to add was one of the best shows I've seen outside of London, without a shadow of a doubt. And one chap actually came up to me, was talking to me, and said he's seen Calamity Jane all over the country. It's his favourite all-time musical, and it was the best production he's ever seen. So that's some accolade, and it gives people an idea of how good the production is. But being that good, it must come at a tremendous cost.
Yes, it does. People are very surprised when they ask me that question, and I sort of give them ballpark figures of what we're talking about. To put on a production like Calamity Jane, you're looking circa 15 grand is what you're looking at. I mean, that is everything, but it's a lot of money we've got to find to put a show on. Some people would say, gosh, surely you can do it cheaper than that. Well, maybe we can, maybe we can't, but the reason we get the comments like you just said, which are great to hear, is because we are an amateur society, but we try to put on a professional show. We do use professional lighting company, we do use a professional sound company, so all the elements where we can, we are using professional people to help us, and then the people on stage, we're the amateurs, and we all love it so much, we just basically try and give it the best we can. But, to answer your question, you're looking best part of 15 grand to put a show like that on.
And that's an awful lot of money, and it's certainly difficult to get back through ticket sales.
Absolutely,
I think the figure I was given before was about 220 maximum at the Academy.
That's great.
For the show.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a lot of working out. That 15 grand takes a lot of taking, so I certainly understand why you need to do the fundraisers.
Yeah. Ticket sales on average bring us in approximately £6,000. So you can see
that's
from
a
that
shortfall of about 9.
We've got to find a lot more money.
An awful lot more money.
But that's why we do all the other things. And not only do we do the fundraising, we have some very good sponsors around the village, and we also have, in the past, we have some good patrons that also give us money. So this is how we find it. And the Christmas extravaganza generally doesn't cost anywhere near that sort of money to put on, but that generates a fair bit of money. So we do things to find the money, basically.
So we need everybody to come along to the Christmas extravaganza, which I believe is in the town hall.
Yes, that was the town hall, yeah.
And we need as many people down as we can, so that you can put on a good show in April. And what's the title of the show in April?
The show we're doing in April is South Pacific.
Well, that's an old-time favourite. Lots of people like South Pacific. Lots of people know the music from South Pacific, so hopefully that'll drag people in. Now, if people want more information, where can they get it? Is there a phone number, or can they get it from the website?
Yeah, the best place to start for the information is go look on the website. That will give you some information. It is currently being revamped after our rebranding, so there isn't a lot of information on there, but there is some numbers to call. The other thing to do is go onto Facebook. Facebook has more information on there about what we're doing at the moment. You can call me at any time for information, and I can give you my phone number. 07967 638 316.
The website?
The website is www.sacos.org.uk, and if you go onto Facebook and just put in SACOS, you'll normally find us. If that doesn't work, SACOS Musical Production.
And of course, I suppose people could come along to rehearsal evenings and poke their head in the door and say, I'm thinking of becoming a member, or I'd like to have a look and I'm interested to see what goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
okay if they do that?
Yeah, absolutely fine. Prefer it if they come in at the beginning of the session, because obviously then there'll be someone there to talk to them. Mondays and Thursdays currently, running up to around about the 5th of December. Come in, 7:30 we start. I'm normally there from 7:15, so if anyone wants to poke their head through the door on a Monday or a Thursday, I'll happily talk to them about it.
Okay, well that's brilliant, Les. Well, thank you for coming in and an insight into SACOS and what it is and what it costs.
Yeah.
And I wish you well for the future.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you, Les. I would imagine there's not many people that weren't shocked by the 15 grand price tag on the show. I don't imagine many people would have considered it cost anywhere near that. And now, without further ado, in the words of the immortal Jimmy Young, what's the recipe today, Lyn?
I do just a simple lemon drizzle cake.
A lemon what?
Drizzle cake.
Drizzle.
A lemon drizzle cake.
What on
very,
earth
very
is a
popular.
lemon drizzle cake?
Well, it's a cake with lemon drizzles all over it. it's
I
a
wish I hadn't
sponge. It's a
asked that.
lemon sponge cake. And well, you'll see when I describe the recipe in a minute what happens to it.
Okay,
but
go
you
on.
get this wonderful a spongy cake with a crispy layer on it with lemon zest, and it's beautiful. Very, very popular today.
Okay.
Very popular. So a simple lemon drizzle cake as opposed to a lemon sponge, all right?
Okay.
So 225 grams, which is what, about 8 ounces of unsalted butter, 225 grams of caster sugar, a finely grated zest of 1 lemon, all right? Just 1 lemon in the actual sponge mix, and 225 grams of self-raising flour.
Right, I've got a question now.
Yeah, go on then.
How do you get the lemon zest? Because I've used all sorts of things and I find it really hard work.
Well, you can get one of these scraper things that you actually just scrape. Or use the fine side of a grater,
Okay.
the very fine side, and just do that, you know, rub the lemon all over
All right,
that.
fine,
It gets you
okay.
the zest. You're going to, for the actual topping, the actual drizzle bit, you want the juice of 1.5 lemons and 85 grams of caster sugar. All right?
Yeah, okay.
Nice and sweet and sticky, but you've got the lemon there to counteract the sweetness. Gas mark 460 degrees centigrade, your oven. You heat your oven up, preheat it.
What if you've got a fan oven?
Yeah, it works out
About
slightly.
140?
About 140, I would say.
Yeah, okay.
You're slightly less than 160. Maybe even, 140 should be fine. Beat the sugar and the butter until it's pale and creamy, as we always do. Add 4 eggs, 1 at a time. You could, after the first eggs, it's a good idea to add one spoonful of flour in with the eggs as you want.
Okay.
That stops the cake from curdling.
Yeah.
Add your lemon zest and mix it until it's well combined. And then you just want to get a loaf tin, line it with your greaseproof paper and spoon in the mixture and level it off with a spoon. So this very simple sponge then you're going to stick in the oven for about 45 minutes until your skewer comes out clean.
All right. Okay.
Really simple sponge. The nice bit is whilst it's cooling you mix your lemon juices and the caster sugar, so your 1.5 lemon juices and your caster sugar, mix them together, prick the cake all over with a fork.
Yeah.
And drizzle the lemon juice and the caster
Which
sugar.
is why it's called the drizzle cake.
That's why
isn't
it's
it?
called a lemon drizzle cake. What happens is it seeps through the cake
Yeah.
and you get all this sugary coating on top of the cake. A bit like when you eat a lardy cake and you eat that crusty bit on the top. You know what I mean? Not that I've done lardy cake for years. That's the one we could do, isn't it? Then you leave it until it's cool and serve it. Now you can keep that in an airtight tin for 2 or 3 days, or you can keep it in the fridge or in a freezer for up to a month. All right, so
You
can
haven't
freeze this cake.
been in our household, have you?
No.
There's no way that cake would stay 2
No.
or 3 days. You're joking.
And I'll tell you another nice little twist for this cake. You could do some sugared flowers on it, and you actually use proper violas, Real
Oh, right,
flours,
yeah, okay.
So to get the sugar flour, you just lightly beat them with a bit of beaten egg white and dust it with caster sugar, set them aside. And when they're set, they can just go on top of the cake. And you can eat them, they're beautiful.
Okay.
Really lovely little zip on the cake. It's a nice little cake to make, it's easy, it's quick, and it's delicious.
Okay.
All right?
Okay, thanks a lot, Lynn.
Thank you, Hugh.
Thank you as always, Lynn. My mouth's just about watering. Sadly I can't eat it because I'm diabetic, but there we go. I can dream about it. And we'll be visiting you again soon for some more recipes. And now before we go, I'd just like to say a few words. We at Selsey Internet Radio need to spread the word. So if you have friends that are on the internet in and around Selsey or anywhere else, it doesn't matter, but especially in and around Selsey, then don't forget to let them know that Selsey Internet Radio is available and get them to tune in. And by all means, contribute some ideas. We'd love to hear from you. Well, thank you for this week. This is Keith Barnes saying goodbye for now.